In the first part of this video, we observed that Thornbury FM had a constitution which supported the involvement of all sectors of the community in the running of the station. We also noted the adoption of the Community Radio Charter for Europe, which endorses the right of minority participation and promotes cultural and linguistic diversity. We saw how a Russian and a Spanish presenter had been given programs, despite there being no such recognized communities in the Thornbury area. The minority communities which actually had their office base in Thornbury were overlooked for most of the 4.5 years of Thornbury FM's existence. A seasoned presenter and trustee had invited a European to be a presenter on the radio station, but not offered the same to an Asian guest who had radio experience. A Caribbean origin presenter made the station look superficially good, and there had been a failed attempt to recruit a Nigerian activist involved with setting up Bristol's BCFM. I now continue. So did Thornbury FM ever receive funding to improve its performance on social inclusion? Well, yes. So, subsequently, did Thornbury FM provide any programs in its schedules for Thornbury's minority ethnic groups, such as Chinese or South Asian music programs? Apart from the involvement of the South Gloucestershire Chinese Association in spring 2009 only, no. Did Thornbury FM provide any programs in minority community languages like Cantonese or Gujarati, for example? No, even the SGCA had to broadcast in English. Did it bring representatives of the two minority ethnic associations onto its management committee? No. These are the characters involved as trustees in the year prior to incorporation. Most of them show up in other videos in this series. So, if we summarize Thornbury FM's performance as regards racial diversity, did it provide programming created by representatives from all sectors of the Thornbury community? Other than one 4-week broadcast in spring 2009, where the SGCA participated, there was no genuine programming by officially recognised minority ethnic associations on Thornbury FM. Did it empower the marginalised and those with limited access to media? Other than the SGCA's 4 hours in the spring of 2009, there was no proper access to Thornbury FM by elected representatives of local minority ethnic communities. Did it create a dialogue between Thornbury's community groups and bridge the divides between the established and newcomers? No, other than as a guest on a certain presenter's show, there was no such dialogue. Did it have ownership that is representative of local communities of common interest? There were no Asian or Chinese representatives on the management committee, nor on the current board of directors post-incorporation. Did it provide a right of access to minority and marginalised groups and promote and protect cultural and linguistic diversity? Until the spring of 2009, neither of the two locally based minority ethnic groups was given access to the station, and there was no programming in any Asian or Chinese language, even with SGCA involvement. Did it operate management, programming and employment practices which opposed discrimination and which were open and accountable to all? Whilst the station had appropriate documents, such as its constitution and equal opportunities policy, it seemed not to have positively sought to improve its image on racial diversity, other than to react to criticism by arranging tokenistic gestures like diversity training for committee members. Subsequently, the chair of Thornbury FM did not offer any explanation as to why the two recognised minority groups were not involved in any way, even though I had been pressing him for answers since 2005. It was not because he had difficulty contacting them. He lived just 200 metres from the office of both minority ethnic associations. Furthermore, he chaired South Gloucestershire Council's Corporate Equalities Forum, of which both associations were a member. The chair of Thornbury FM was also the local vicar.
How many years can a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? Oh, yes, how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? Yes, how many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? Yo, oh, the answer, my friend, it is blowing in the wind. Oh, the answer is blowing in the wind.
As mentioned before, a promising development was that SGCA was given a weekly 1-hour slot in the spring 2009 broadcast. But this is what should have happened 3 years earlier. The SGCA was off the schedules in November 2009. Despite some token gestures towards the Asian community, the station only had some programming involvement from the South Gloucestershire Asian Project in spring 2010 after the name change, and neither organisation was involved in the management of the station. Another development in May 2009 was to arrange a one-off music programme for a new broadcaster then revealed only as Moxie. And so it was that on Thursday the 14th of May 2009, Thornbury FM had its first black female presenter, who comes from the former British colony of the United States of America. Moxie was not her real name for sure, but Shaw was. However, Kamika Shaw's advertised first programme of the following broadcast in autumn 2009 failed to happen, and the autoplay function took over. Nevertheless, 2009 became like the Thornbury Year of Ethnicity, seemingly to bolster the image of the local Christian clique, which you'll learn much more about in later videos. So the new, fairly old Quaker mayor, who apparently had no family connections in Thornbury, broke with tradition and selected a number of teenagers as her consorts, including a Christian Thornbury FM presenter, but she also chose an Asian. Hurrah! For 2009, the Thornbury Carnival was resurrected and led by a committee including various Thornbury FM activists who ensured that there was Chinese and Asian involvement. So the entertainment included Chinese lion dancers and dancing by children from the SGAP, because we wouldn't want anyone to think that Thornbury was a racist town, now would we? Noticeably absent were any Russian Cossack dancers or Spanish flamenco dancers. Now, if the Carnival Committee could ensure representation from genuine minority ethnic communities, if only for that year, then the management of Thornbury FM had no excuses. Thornbury FM should have had proper participation from the Asian and Chinese communities since 2006 at the latest. The fact that it never achieved this is a disgrace. There are people in Thornbury who have a genuinely positive attitude towards minorities, so why was it that Thornbury FM dragged its heels and only made tokenistic gestures towards proper community participation using individuals from Russia, Spain and the USA? If the chair of Thornbury FM had wanted to know which the genuine minority ethnic associations in the area were, then he just needed to look around the table when he chaired a meeting of the Corporate Equalities Forum. Shame on him and Thornbury FM.
That's why I'm marching, yes I'm marching down Freedom's Road. United we stand, divided we fall. Let's make this land safe for one and all. I've got a message and you know it's right. Black and white together, unite and fight. That's why I'm marching, yes I'm marching down Freedom's Road. Ain't no fascist gonna stop me, no Nazis gonna keep me from marching down Freedom's Road.